Hi, welcome to Inspire Memoirs. This is Lorna. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Don't forget to like, share, or click subscribe. If this information has been helpful and some of the previous videos have been helpful, or maybe you know someone that could use this information. So please, please share and comment. Well, tomorrow is Memorial Day. So some of us are having long weekends, and I don't know about you all, but it has been an extremely long weekend, long week for me. So I really appreciate having a day off on tomorrow. But I did want to stop by tonight and just kind of talk to you a little bit about going through what you need to go through in order that you can get to the other side of the situation that you're dealing with. There's something that comes to mind as I begin to kind of think about being graced to be in the position that you're in. You know, as bad as you may feel about your situation, there is someone out there that would love to be in your shoes. So I began to kind of look up the word grace, and I'm a wordsmith. Y'all know how I am about words. It seems like I always give y'all some type of definition here or there. But the verb definition of verb talks about being bestowed favor upon, grace upon, honor upon. So when we're talking about the word grace and how I feel at times, a lesser person would fail or faint by the things that you have endured in your life. And it's because you have been graced to do and to be exactly who you are. There is no coincidences. I don't believe, in mishaps. I believe that everything that we go through in this life, we go through for a reason. And we don't want to just be going through challenges and going through things without learning lessons. But we want to go through what we need to go through so that we can get to the other side and be able to be effective and help someone else to overcome what they're overcoming. There's something that comes to mind when I think about going through and the trials of the turmoils and how other people may fail and faint at some of the things that maybe you've experienced personally. The Bible calls it, or that the Bible speaks of, a refiner's fire. And what that is, I began to look that up, and it's a controlled fire. That's a fire that doesn't just burn out of control, but that's a fire that is being controlled at the hands of something or a situation. And what that fire does, it doesn't come to destroy, but it comes to get the best out of that situation. Get the best out of you while you're going through and enduring various different trials and tests, so that you'll come out not just having experienced a test, but you'll have a greater testimony. So that's what I want to encourage you on tonight, to know that even though you may feel like you're in a bleak place, that you're in a dark place, and it seems like maybe your world is spiraling because it feels like you're losing control over the situations that are taking place, that are currently standing before you. Maybe you're facing some giants in your life, but I'm here to tell you that God is standing before you. He's coming as a refiner's fire. And you know what we do when you watch, I was a big Reading Rainbow fan. I used to like to watch them blow glass, and I loved PBS when I was young. I'm telling my age, but I'm proud to be almost 40. I'll be almost 40. I'll be 40 in August. So looking at Reading Rainbow and different PBS specials, I would love to watch the makers and the creators blow glass and make different things out of gold and different metals. In order for you to make a metal, something that's hard, pliable, you have to add some heat. And not just any kind of heat. It has to be an extremely hot heat, but it can't burn out of control. It has to be under the control of that refiner. So this is sometimes what life and trials and situations and circumstances bring to us. It brings to us a level of refinement so that we'll experience that grace, that favor, that honor will be bestowed upon us to deal with what we're dealing with. Some people, think of things when bad things take place, or things that we feel like we would have done differently. When those things happen, some people really get down on themselves. But I want you to flip it from a negative to a positive and say, well, I must be up for the challenge. Let's change our thinking about the way that we go through and the things that we go through, because we want to learn the lesson the first time, right? Because who wants to keep repeating a test? Like, we don't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time to keep repeating tests and failing tests when you can get it right the first time. So I want to encourage you all, to be present while you're taking your test. Don't zone out and think, oh, I'll just come back to myself when it all blows over. No, I want you to be present in whatever you're going through, whatever emotions that you're feeling. I want you to be present so that the refiner's fire can come, and it's a controlled fire, and it can take care of those things. It can burn off all those impurities, just like gold does. When you heat it up, all the impurities rise to the top. So you have different models, different grades, different carats of gold. You have 10 carat, which has more metal. You have 14 carat, which has a little bit less metal, right? And all the way up until like 24 carat, which is mostly the actual element itself. And 24 karat gold is bendable, it's pliable, because you burnt so much of the extra metals and the impurities out of that gold until it begins to be pliable. And that's what we have to do in the situations that we come against, that seems to try to aggravate us or harass us. We cannot allow ourselves to stay in the same posture, but we have to not be afraid of transition. We have to not be afraid to change. It is up to us. Whatever state of mind that we find ourselves in, it is all our decision to be exactly where we are. If you're unhappy, you can change that. Only you can change that, because believe it or not, we love our family and our friends and our spouses, but these people, these things can't bring us joy. They can only make us happy for a moment, but most of us, what we're looking for is something long lasting, and that has to come from the inside that shines on the outside. So everything else around us that brings us happiness, that complements who we are and how we feel on the inside. We shouldn't be looking for other people to validate us. We should not, man, woman, child, boy or girl, what have you. We shouldn't be looking for others to give us something that should come from the inside. It's like trying to get somebody to motivate you when motivation doesn't come from the outside. You're motivated by the inside. Some people can give you a little drive and a little get up, but ultimately, in order for you to follow through, you have to be motivated. It has to be something that drives you from the inside, that no matter what happens, rain, sleet, or snow, you're determined to complete a task because you are motivated. When everybody else says long quit and long giving up, you have to stay the course. So I want to encourage you to allow that refiner's fire, that control fire, to go forth and help you to grow where you need to go. Go through what you need to go through. Deal with what you need to deal with and move forward. Glean, learn your lesson. Learn the lesson that God is trying to teach you, and move forward with the things that you've learned. If a stove is hot, no one has to keep telling you. Once you touch it once and you realize that you burn yourself if you touch it, no one else has to teach you that lesson, because you've learned that the first time. Even babies, if they touch something hot, first thing they'll say is hot. They've learned that lesson the first time. Why? Because either they come close to it or they've touched it. So with us, it's the same way. Life is really, when it comes down to the real things of life, it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic. We have to learn to see things through the eyes of a child and stop overcomplicating our situation. We really have to change our approach, and we really have to change the way we think in order for us to change ourselves, because so as a man thinketh, so is he. So the more that we begin to work on ourselves and allow God to work on us, the more He'll begin to reveal what it is that we need to allow Him with that refiner's fire to burn away. It's some things that, maybe some old positions, old attitudes, old ways of thinking that, we have come up against, right? And it has presented a challenge, because where we're going in our future, we can't take who we used to be with us. We're going to have to make changes. We're going to have to make adjustments. And it's the big word that I like to use all the time. We're going to have to transition. We're going to have to pivot. The word pivot means to oscillate. Just like a fan, you put a fan in the room, you hit the little button, and it kind of spins slowly. It oscillates. Well, that's what the word pivot means. We have to be willing to turn from where we are so that we could get a broader spectrum of where we need to be, and how our effect of who we are can reach more people when all we have to do is make one little adjustment and just pivot. So I want to encourage you on today. I know it's late, and I know you may have a million things to do. You're spending time with family, or you just want to be alone, or whatever your plans are for Memorial Day. I want you to begin to get you a notebook. Begin to get you some affirmations. Begin to get you a plan. Set some goals for yourself, and know that you can accomplish them because you have it inside of you. That God has graced you. He has bestowed an honor upon you. That who are you not to go through? There's somebody waiting for you on the other side of your situation. There's somebody waiting on you because you have the answer to whatever the situation. Y'all dealing with the same thing, but they need to see somebody else come out. So who are you not to shine? Who are you not to, that poem, who are you not to be bright? Who are you to dim your light, so that others, play small, so that others can feel big? God has a special plan for you. And everything that you're going through is not meant to destroy you. It's just simply that refiner's fire so that He can get the best out of you. I'm a witness that sometimes life can throw some low down dirty blows, and it can face you with some challenges and obstacles. But just remember, as you go through and you face them, we're not cowering away. Ain't no quitting us. You got to talk some trash, to your situation. Listen, I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting. Yeah, you may have me down. Yeah, I may be feeling low. I'll own my feelings. But I do know that I can come out of this, that God has graced me with the grace so that I can be an overcomer. No longer are we victims, but in 2019, we are going to be victors. We are going to conquer some of this stuff that has been holding us down and holding us hostage and holding us in bondage and in captivity. We are going to go through because we can, because we have the power on the inside of us to say, yes, we can. We can do all things, that there is nothing that we can even dream about. If we dreamed it, that means we have the ability to make these things come to pass. And I want to encourage you to not slight yourself. Don't play small in 2019. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if there's ever been anything that you wanted to do, now is the time to pursue it, to put your hand, to it, to put your faith in action, to put hard work behind what your vision is. And I want you to go for it. What is it going to hurt for somebody to tell you no? At least you tried, right? At least you tried. And maybe if they tell you no, there's 5 other people that'll tell you yes. So encourage yourself and stop chickening out. You're talking yourself out of the biggest change, the biggest momentum, that thing that you've been asking God for, that thing that you've been praying for. You're talking yourself out of it. And God is waiting on you. We like to say, I'm just waiting on God. And it's not true. God is waiting on you. So encourage yourself. Talk swag. Come on. Sometimes you just got to look in the mirror. Get you some music that gets you excited. And speak life over yourself. That you will not die in the situation that you're in. That depression won't stop you. Oppression won't stop you. That negative thoughts won't keep you down. But you will go forth to do what you dreamed in your heart to do. Because if it's there, there's a reason that it's there. There's a reason. And you have to overcome your objections. You have to go forth and face your giant. And when you face it, you're going to realize that your giant actually wasn't that big at all. No, you made him bigger. Remember I talked about denial? One of our videos, I believe the first video, I was telling you that what God revealed to me about denial is a system of self-created thoughts. We have talked ourselves out of so many things because we've told ourselves that it was too big, it was too hard, it was too big of a risk, it's too big of a challenge, I ain't got time, I have work, I have X, Y, and Z going on, I have this, I have that. And you've talked yourself out of doing something amazing. So I want to talk you back into it. I'm a part of your village and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you that I believe that you can do it. I believe that you have the courage and the boldness. And if you feel like you don't have it, you need to pray and ask God to give it to you. Give me what I need. I believe that you already have it on the inside of you. But times it lies dormant at times. And we have to speak it out loud and verbalize what we want to take place. And the more we speak it, the more we'll believe it. And the more we'll believe it, the more we'll begin to act on it. So this year, we're not going to be all mouth. We're not going to be all talk. But we are going to go forth and do the things that we know is inside of our hearts to do. We know that we're capable of it, but we're scared. We're afraid. Some of us are afraid of rejection, but you have to overcome it in order to get to the other side of what you need and what you're going through. If you don't want to take this test anymore, then you have to overcome it. You have to. It's imperative for you. Somebody is depending on you. Somebody is waiting on you to come out because you hold the answer for them. Just think about it. If you can't find the strength to do it for yourself, then do it for somebody in your family. Do it for your children. Do it for somebody else that you know is depending on you. Do it. If you can't find a reason to do it for yourself, then do it for someone that you love. All right? All right, I want to encourage you to be the best you can be. Happy Memorial Day. We'll be praying for those that have lost loved ones, those that have people in the military that have passed on and moved away, or what have you, they transition from this life to the next. We're praying for you, and we hope and pray that all goes well on Memorial Day. Be encouraged with Inspired Memoirs. This is Lauren again, and we'll see you soon.